I never expected my story to go viral. When I first shared what happened, I thought people would understand, that someone, somewhere, might see that I was human too. But instead, all I got was hate. Thousands of strangers called me heartless, selfish, a murderer. They said I deserved to lose everything. Even my own daughter posted her version of the story, and now the entire internet hates me. Yes, I cheated. Yes, my husband took his own life. But that doesn't mean I wanted him gone. It doesn't mean I don't wake up every night replaying that moment in my head. I came back to tell the truth. Not the version my daughter told, not the version people built online, but my truth. Because I'm tired of everyone telling my story except me. When my post went live, I thought maybe people would see the pain behind my mistakes. I thought they'd understand what it's like to lose yourself in someone else's sickness, to feel trapped in a life that stopped feeling like yours. But they didn't. The comments were brutal. Hundreds of people told me I was disgusting, that I ruined my family, that I should be the one who's gone, not him. At first, I tried to reply, to defend myself, to explain that love isn't always clean or easy. But every word I wrote only made things worse. Then my daughter posted her side. She told everyone about finding her father, about me leaving, about Jake, and the internet crowned her the victim, which I suppose she is. But in doing that, they made me a monster. I read the comments until my eyes hurt. People saying things like, I hope she never finds peace. Some even sent messages to my job, trying to get me fired. Jake begged me to stop reading, but I couldn't, because part of me thought maybe someone would finally understand if I kept looking long enough, but no one did. The world doesn't care about context, only villains and victims. And in their eyes, I'll always be the villain. Still, I can't stop asking myself, if they had lived my life, walked in my shoes, would they really have done anything differently? I've tried everything to reach my daughter. Calls, texts, letters, all ignored. I even showed up at my parents' house once, thinking maybe I could see her, even for a second. She wouldn't come out. I stood on the porch for almost an hour holding a photo of the three of us from years ago, before the sickness, before the affair, before everything fell apart. I wanted to tell her that I missed her, that I never stopped loving her, that I'm sorry. But she's made it clear she doesn't want my apologies. She wants me gone. I can't even blame her. Every time I see her face in an old picture, I see the pain I caused. But I wish she could see the pain I carry too. Losing her has been worse than losing my husband. At least with him, I know he's gone. With her, she's still out there, living, breathing, hating me, and I can't reach her. Jake says I should move on, that I've suffered enough, that my daughter will come around one day. But what does he know about this kind of grief? He didn't lose his family. He didn't watch his world collapse under his choices. He didn't hear a 16-year-old scream on the phone while realizing her father was gone. Some nights I wake up thinking I hear her voice calling me mom again. Then the silence hits, heavy, unforgiving, and I wonder if she'll ever forgive me. I've written her hundreds of messages I'll never send. In each one, I tell her the same thing. I'm sorry, not for falling in love with someone else, but for letting my loneliness destroy everything good we had. But maybe sorry doesn't matter anymore. Maybe some wounds don't heal. They just stop bleeding long enough for you to pretend they don't hurt. I think the hardest part of all this isn't the hate from strangers. It's realizing that maybe they're right about me. For months, I tried convincing myself that I was the victim too, that I'd been trapped in a loveless marriage, that I had a right to be happy. But every time I replay those moments in my head, the texts, the lies, the look in his eyes when he said, I know, I can't find a version of this story where I'm innocent. Jake tells me to stop torturing myself. He says I've paid for my mistakes, but guilt doesn't have an expiration date. It sits in your chest like a stone you can't put down. I still wear my wedding ring sometimes. Not because I think I deserve to, but because part of me refuses to let go of the woman I used to be, the one who believed in forever. That ring reminds me of promises I broke and a life I can never have back. Some days, I scroll through my daughter's social media. She looks so grown up now, smiling with friends, living a life without me. I tell myself that maybe it's better this way, that maybe her healing needs distance. But deep down, I wish I could tell her that I'm proud of her, that I never stopped loving her, even when I lost everything else. People think cheating is about lust or thrill. It's not. It's about emptiness, a desperate attempt to fill a hole you can't even name. And in trying to fill mine, I created one that swallowed everything I loved. Maybe that's the real punishment. Not losing them, but having to live with the memory of how I did. I don't expect forgiveness anymore. Not from my daughter, not from the internet, maybe not even from myself. The world loves simple stories. A villain, a victim, a moral. But life isn't that neat. Love isn't that neat. Sometimes two people drown in the same storm and only one gets blamed for the flood. I know what I did was unforgivable. But does that mean I should spend the rest of my life being punished for it? How long does a person have to hate themselves before it's enough? People say move on. But where do you move when your past follows you everywhere you go? When every quiet moment becomes a replay of the worst day of your life? I'm not trying to erase what happened. I just want peace, even if it's small, even if no one else believes I deserve it. Jake still tells me that I can start over, that I can build something new. Maybe he's right. Maybe someday I'll look in the mirror and see someone who isn't just defined by one terrible choice. But until then, I'll keep telling my story. Not because I need pity, but because silence feels worse. At least when I speak, I can breathe. So tell me, when someone breaks a family, destroys the people they love, and still wakes up every morning trying to live, does that make them evil? Or just human in the ugliest possible way?